Welcome to Going Insane with Temperance Jermaine. That's me. How y'all doing? You in the river? Get my shirt on right. Welcome to the gazebo. Here comes the sun. Okay, well, good morning. We're headed for the last supermoon. We're headed for the last supermoon of the year, which is two supermoons or two full moons in 1 month. One in the beginning, one in the end, and this will be the last one for the year. When I was a kid or growing up, since 2018, I've been more aware of supermoons, and I don't recall them ever bringing them up before. So, listening. Okay, so 7:47. Is that right? Okay, well, all right. So, hi, welcome if you're new. Welcome. I'm fixing to start the Oracle read. This channel is based on foundational channeled videos or messages that I have in a playlist I always stick at the end of the videos that are check in, environment, mental, emotional, physical, that we do to fast track into Ascension. I'm a light worker, twin flame, so starseed. So, I'm kind of speaking from that point of view, but there are no titles or categories or boxes here on this channel, okay? If you find this message, then it's for you. There's something in here for you that you need in your now, whenever that is. These are timeless. And I'm going to need this. That's better. Okay, so this will get started because I really don't have any specific notes or anything about anything. So we're just going to jump into the message. Let's invite gang. OCG, come and play with me. Those are my guardian angels, my angels with swords. I couldn't find my brush this morning, so pardon the hair, but I wanted to get out before it got brutal out here. This is your message, not my message. Make me a clear, pertinent channel for your message today, for me and the souls that need to hear it. Clear, concise, and articulate is always nice. Edifying. uplifting, and informational. Is that Metatron? Michelangel's here, Uriel's here, Raziel's here, Joan of Arc, my gang's all here. Magdalene, Shakina's always with me. Yeshua, Yeshua. Sananda, that's his star name. Jophiel, Raquel, Raziel, and Uriel, they're my personal guardians. Are we ready? Metatron? Metatron's taking the lead today. Hi, Metatron. I missed you. Okay, we're going to start with the sacred creators. And let's just get in here, shall we? Oh, by the way, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll know the next time a video drops, a message drops for you. And leave a comment. Even if it's just an emoji, helps promote the video, okay? My poor old knees out. That's it. Okay, let's get started. It's very nice out here. Can you hear the birds? Saying good morning. I lit an incense over there for Buddha. The Zen place. It's nice to be surrounded by Gaia, Buddha, and all the elements, as we've been recently speaking of. I saw some very interesting clouds floating above my head earlier while I was laying in the grass. Would you like to start this message? Oops, any others? So I think we're Tuesday. Yes, we're definitely Tuesday. And, Mondays I just automatically take off. I don't know why. Habit. And why not? I mean, if you can, why not? Mondays are really disruptive energy days. People are not happy on Monday. It's better just to tap out on that one. Tuesday, at least the week's starting to roll, and everyone's like, okay, only 3 more days till Friday, so people can handle Tuesday. But reminds me of they're putting in my head "Sweet Judy Blue Eyes" by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, I think too. Tuesday afternoon. That might be a sync for somebody. Would you like to add to this message, please? It's one of my favorite songs ever written. One. So my Facebook ministry is chock full of videos and some new creators on there. Lots of information going down in the political arena. Lots of insider information over there. Some fun stuff. Some videos that are put into my line of sight for ascension from the higher realms, introducing themselves and encouraging us, and quite frankly, their gratitude being returned back to us for being here, as they call us, the ground crew. They call us the ground crew. And so it is a reciprocal relationship. It's not one-sided. It's not just us going, oh, please help me. We need to come into faith and trust that they're working with us, not against us, and prepare the way for them being able to reach and affect more souls' frequency and vibrations as they allow and ask for it. So we need to be putting people's minds and souls to ease about that by example, they said. Anything else we'd like to add to this message then? Any others? And last but not least, OCG in the house with the, I want to make sure I get the Archangel Power Tarot. I love this deck. I love my archangels and their power. They are friends of mine. If you don't know them yet, introduce yourselves. Ask them to introduce themselves, because the only way they can come in is by being invited. And Gaia, would you mind keeping your mosquitoes away from me right now? I don't like mosquitoes. Yes. Oh, okay. Thank you. So I saw a movie last night, and it's really like in my top 10 right now of all best movies I've ever seen. It's called John Carter. I had never seen that one. And it's a twin flame story, and um, kind of an ascension story. It's time travel and other terrestrial story, and it's really quite revealing as to what they've needed to expose to us through Hollywood and whatever. It's a clear example of what I mean when I say that, because the malevolent forces, the evil ones, the ones that have enslaved us and would rather us keep enslaved and keep being enslaved, and so that they can cull us, cull, cull us, and harvest us for their um, evil purposes as a party drug. And I'm not one to mince words. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you would like to know more, please reach out. My contact information is below. Janine, Tarot by Janine has a lot of information there. My Facebook ministry is full of creators and channels that lead to different platforms that have all the information that I've already consumed. So I kind of stay here because speaking to an echo chamber is not what I'm about. I'm about reaching out to the souls that are not familiar with the other formats, hanging tight with my soul tribe, that know where to find me if they need me, and if they don't, that's okay too. I would hope that anybody who finds this information helpful and useful, and I mean that's my base, my base messages, that my foundational messages that um, have even worked for me when I um, fell out of my 0.0 of joy, which is bliss. Okay, they quickly helped me to realign myself, and I'm still good. I haven't. I'm talking about since the eclipse, the the um, the full eclipse, the full lunar eclipse. I guess it is because there were 2 eclipses right in this month. Anyway, the last eclipse, some energies put me in a teeter-totter, and I quickly was able to right myself just by going back, and as they say, it's an open book test, and these videos are the quiz material. So, okay, let's finish this portion up. Okay, would you like to add to your message? No. Any others? No. Okay. OCG all day, every day. Original cosmic gangsters, and that's what I call my guardian angels and guides and ancestors that come and rock this out with me. All right, so let's get this party started. External validation. Wait. Let me see. Ooh. Owie, owie, owie. What is that? So I don't have to making it work. That's what I do. Oh, and this is a 50, so that's a 5. So that means changes. Turn and face the strange changes. That's a good song. I haven't heard that one in a long time. Changes. Okay. Okay. There it is. External validation. Essential meanings. Finding your own vibe and your own beat. Effortlessly attracting others because of your warm. Okay. Is it? Bring this closer because you. Okay. How's that? Probably better. They know best. They have a better perspective than I do for sure. Finding your own vibe and your own beat, effortlessly attracting others because of your warm energy, tuning out the noise of external validation, and listening to your own heart, opening yourself up to external validation and accepting compliments. Amen. Self-care message. Paying too much attention to naysayers, listening to opinion as if it was fact, worrying about what others might think, the addictive nature of needing praise, and addiction to social media. Yes, those are all traps that all of us in the undivine, tapped into the 3D undivine matrix, have to deal with on a regular. It's just part of being here, and part of ascending is understanding that that is happening when it's happening, so we can tap out of that. I mean, everybody's free will is to tap out. Or tap in. Okay, back to the book. On one hand, external validation can build you up and give you the encouragement and support to continue. Positive external validation whispers, "We love it. Continue. We want more." It can be wonderfully supportive and reassuring and offer glimpses to what's possible for the future. In this way, external validation can be a driving force for your success. Yet on the other hand, it can be terribly addictive and become far too important if you give it too much power. It's important to learn how to tune it out in order to tune in to your own vibe. Tap out, tap in. They are so good at this. Own vibe and creative north. This is especially true when others don't understand your vision or when you are doing something totally new. The absence of external validation can be a creativity killer. If you find yourself unable to move ahead without it, it's time to know thyself and to rely on your own acumen and intuition as you decide something's value. Accept the positive when it's there, and in its absence, be your own cheerleader. I've been accused of being a cosmic cheerleader, and I'm claiming that. Go, team, go! Go, team, go! Yes, Gaia, can you call off your mosquito, please? I don't want to have to kill it, and I will. You can call the mosquito police now, because you can precog me on that one. That's a movie I haven't seen in a while. If you haven't seen Minority Report, I always tell people, don't precog me, because I don't care who you are. You don't know what someone's going to do until they've done it. And if you start putting that expectation that someone's going to keep the same behavior or do something because that's the way you would handle it, or you're an empath and you feel that they want to do that, doesn't mean they're going to. That's why we have the Constitution written out and the Miranda rights, because you can't, until somebody actually does it right before your very eyes. Do you really know that they've done anything or that they will? No, you don't. So don't precog yourself. Well, you can precog yourself. Okay, don't precog other people. The Minority Report, and then there was another one that came out that I always group together. Also has Tom Cruise in it, and it's called Vanilla Sky. That one's worth watching too. They just brought that to my mind. Okay, back to the book. In order to tune into your own vibe and creative north. This is especially true when others don't understand your vision or when you are doing something totally new. The absence of external validation can be a creativity killer. If you find yourself unable to move ahead without it, it's time to know thyself and to rely on your own acumen and intuition as you decide something's value. Accept the positive, and when it's there, and in its absence, be your own cheerleader. Allow your own potential to inspire you, and tune out the noise of external validation whenever it's not gifting you joy. 0.0 point of joy is bliss, and that's where it's at, baby. And that's where the magic happens. That's when you create the positive things and put them in your vortex. Okay, but the ego mind and um, codependency on validation or someone else's opinion or whatever, that's going to negate. That's going to give you more lack. So, highly recommend staying out of that stinking thinking, which previous videos, okay? Allow your own potential to inspire you and tune out the noise of external validation whenever it's not gifting you joy. Throw a headset on, light a candle in your heart, groove to your favorite drum beat, and relax. Your unique gift for seeing the world in your unique way will guide you. When you rely on someone else's opinion and whose perspective is the most important when there is a difference When do you rely on someone else's opinion and whose perspective is the most important when there is a difference of opinion? How can you use external validation as a way to market, test, or perception check without relying on it for inspiration? Yes, yes. How can you learn to be your own compass? When is your optimal time to seek a second opinion? And in your current situation, you must have the voice that matters. What does your heart say? It's all about the heart. Yes, yes. What's your honest truth? Honest and truth in the same very short sentence. That's pretty tight. What's your honest truth? Essential meanings, total authenticity and transparency, a glorious unveiling of spirit, clear and compelling communication that comes from the heart. From the heart. It's all about the heart. Ninja Seals. Finding the keys to abundance by finding what is true and right for your soul. Self-care message. A need to peel back the many layers of your own truth, holding on to masks for protection, both kinds. Take the masks off, people. I don't care what kind they are. I forget the title, but I have a whole video, previous videos, okay, that has masks in the title, and that one's pretty. I mean, they're all good. That one's pretty good too. I mean, like, it stands out above most of them. Okay, here we go. A need to peel back the many layers of your own truth, holding on to masks for protection, a true dive into your own heart with love and compassion, a need to pay closer attention to the shadow aspect of your story, areas where you may be denying your truest desires and your truest essence. We hold on to many layers of truth. Truths we've learned from our parents, the ones we've learned during lived experiences, and the ones our ego holds on to in order to lovingly protect us from the world. You've outgrown a layer, and it's time to do something in order to curate the best framework for your future. At the base of all your learned truths lies a different sort of truth, an underlying true essence. And this core foundation is refusing to be quieted or ignored any longer. You will hear it clearly now, and an old truth has become too small for your expanding life. Amen. At the base of all your learned truths lies a different sort of a truth, an underlying true essence. And this core foundation is refusing to be quieted or ignored any longer. You will hear it clearly now, as an old truth has become too small for your expanding life. Perhaps a soul purpose, a sacred contract, or a destiny is unveiling your truest true or your honest truth. Perhaps it's reminding you now that you are here for a reason. When you strip it all down to the soul, what work are you being called to do? And why are you here at this time? Why are you here at this time? Are you here just to tra-la-la-la-la along? To live on the edges? I mean, are you all in? I mean, just saying. The ones who go in all in with all their might are the ones that come out on the other side faster and with more depth to power, because they didn't dilute it with a bunch of 1 foot on, outside of the pool and dipping just a toe at a time in to see if the water's okay in the cosmic waters, so to speak. I mean, we are the forerunners. We are the foreshowers, the way showers, the first fruits, the ninja seals. You got this. I got this. What are we on? Let me just let that sink in for a minute. I mean, we have waves going into New Earth. We have waves. No souls left behind, especially, I mean, they want to come, they're coming. And you can wait till it's all populated and set up for you. You can do that. All the hard work, all the heavy lifting's done. You could do that. You could do that. But like that movie Passengers that I've never seen before. I mean, don't you want to be a colonizer? One who prepares the way and is part of the construction of the new and the deconstruction of the not worth a shit. No one's judging. No one's judging. Do it any way you want. I'm just asking. It's kind of the choices, and no one's judging. Everybody has their place in this piece in this jigsaw puzzle we call the event, the Great Awakening, Ascension. No one's judging. Okay, it's just stuff to ponder. At the base of all your learned truths lies a different sort of true, an underlying true essence. And this core foundation is refusing to be quieted or ignored any longer. You will hear it clearly now, as an old truth has become too small for your expanding life. Perhaps a soul purpose, a sacred contract, or a destiny is unveiling your truest true or your honest truth. Perhaps it's reminding you now that you are here for a reason. When you strip it all down to the soul, what work are you being called to do? And why are you here at this time? Do you believe soul purposes can change and evolve over time? What were you doing the last time you felt insecure or inauthentic? And what did you do or think to create that situation? How do you feel when you are most authentically you? Is there a negative belief about yourself or about your abilities that is holding you back? A story about circumstances? How can you tap into the infinite nature of your soul and shift your thinking to this? I do that so you can take a screenshot. So you can play with that during your travels. It's worth exploring, is it not? Okay, books. Where are my books? Oh, they're right in front of me. Jeez Louise. I don't think we've had this one before. Will of the Wisp. Treasures hidden in the shadows. Treasures hidden in the shadows. In case I covered the mic. That's tight. That New Earth, sure enough. That's New Earth, isn't it? These cards, this camera doesn't do them justice, for sure. Will of the Wisp. Treasures hidden in the shadows. The Great Mystery. Epiphany. Will of the Wisp hovers in her luminescent glory above the twilight moors of your life, whispering for you to step into the fog, into the mystery, the unknown. You may have been visited by her before, but, though intrigued, you refused her invitation. It would be safer, you decided, to remain on the journey. Oh my gosh, I just said this. They are so good at this. On like Donkey Kong, Metatron. It's about tipping your toe into the pool. It would be safer you decided to remain on the journey you know, or the journey you know. While you always have a choice as to whether to follow her or not, you never know when you might encounter her again. In this sense, turning away has its own consequences. Why is it? Why is the known so appealing? See, it's not hard for me because where everything I know about the 3D mucked up matrix, I have no problem walking away from. It has never done anything that felt right in my gut. Not the way people treat people, not the way love is presented, not the way we are slaves to a system that is very, and the system is it's designed to fail. There's no fixing it. There's no fixing that one. There's only creating the new one. If y'all don't know what Gesara, Gesara, and or Nesara, Nesara, are, I highly suggest you look into them because that might help you make your mind up to follow the will of the wisp. It's not like there's no plan. We're not just jumping without having a safety net. We are. You just have to trust that it's there. But if you're not doing any research outside of your normal realms of seeking, well, no wonder you have fear. There's no room for fear. Fear is a faith killer. And when you don't have faith, you just reattach to the 3D matrix, and all the work you've done, you've got to redo. You've got to recut the cords. You've got to redetach. You've got to go back and do these videos, the foundational ones, and read, check, 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 check. And we have to get persistent, and we have to be consistent, and we have to know that we know that we know that we know that what we're doing is fruitful and abundant. It's like in Peter Pan, you can't fly if you don't believe. If you don't believe, why would you be able to fly? So, whatever you believe, whatever your belief system is, that's what you're creating more of. But understand that if you're creating more of the undivine matrix, it's not going to be powerful enough to stop those of us creating the divine one. Back to the book. That was tight. I don't know who could argue with that. I know there'd be plenty of people to try. Go ahead. Try in the comments. Why is the known so appealing? It's only when you wake up to its restrictions, to okay. It's an important sentence, so I'd like to get it right. Why is the known so appealing? It's only when you wake up to its restrictions, its soft prison or golden cage, that you realize there must be more. Will of the Wisp. Will of the Wisp has come to you once again to offer you magic, but you will have to sacrifice certainty in the pursuits of adventure. Will of the Wisp has come to you once again to offer you magic, but you will have to sacrifice certainty in the pursuit of adventure. Your comfort zone for the dangers of discovery, your well-trodden path for the detours that may very well lead you astray. Or will they? Can you accept that losing yourself will bring you closer to your true self? Losing yourself will bring you closer to your true self. Oh, did we just not? You're so good at this. Thank you, Metatron. Thank you, gang gang. Can you accept that losing yourself will bring you closer to your true self? The profound shift of an epiphany can occur only when you risk the detour and enter the unknown. Now is the time to trust higher forces to lead you to this place. These worlds hidden at the threshold between what was and what can be. Booyah. That's what I just said. We make a great team, Metatron. Gang gang. Profound shift of an epiphany can occur only when you risk the detour and enter the unknown. Now is the time to trust higher forces to lead you into this place. These worlds, hidden in the threshold between what was and what can be, here is where you will learn about your own unmaking, to unmask yourself. Love what you discover, dark or light. See it all as divine, and find a quiet, thrumming power with waiting for you to channel it into the world for good. Now is the time to trust higher forces to lead you into this place. These worlds hidden at the threshold between what was and what can be. Here is where you will learn how to Here is where you will learn about your own unmaking to unmask yourself. Your own unmaking to unmask yourself. Leave that dead man's masquerade ball. You don't have to be that person anymore. Just handing your mask in is the ticket out. Body. Just be authentic. Just be honest and true. Be authentically you. And everybody else can fend for their own souls as they're supposed to. We're not responsible to spoon feed other souls that they are fine. I mean, we're not. I told you, every soul has their own journey, and we are not supposed to dim our light for them just because there's pain. This is the plane of pain. We're all here on purpose. Are they here to try and stop you from yours so that you will decide to do it anyway? Probably. If you're here on this channel, probably. I mean, I know being codependent and thinking everybody needed me to survive, even if it was just on the fringe of their lives without being reciprocated back to, that's not truth. That's where they would like to keep me, under a bushel with my light all dimmed up so that they can shine brighter. Probably out of naivete and just plain being ornery because they don't want me to be right. Pride and ego before the fall. Well, I'm not going to let their pride and their ego trip me up. I have a job to do. I have light to bring. I have truth to talk about. I have souls with issues that they want to address. I don't need to deal with the ones who don't want to address it. When they want to address it, they'll find their own. Like Jesus, he couldn't sit there and preach in his village for his whole life. What good would that have done? Trying to convince his village to believe in him. What good would that have done? Nothing. And it's usually your own village that thinks the least of you and your power. But they'll go guru up with somebody else, so let them go find some other guru. You do you, guru. There's other souls that will watch you because you're not their guru, because you're not their village. And then we have more gurus because everybody's village needs gurus other than them. That was kind of tight. Okay, back to the book. It's true. Thank you, Metatron. That was tight. Thank you, Yeshua. Gang, gang. Now's the time to trust higher forces to lead you into this place. These worlds hidden at the threshold between what was and what can be. Here is where you will learn about your own unmaking, to unmask yourself, love what you discover, dark or light, and see it all as divine. And find a quiet, thrumming power waiting for you to channel it into the world for good. Just like the prayer I did at the beginning, right? Yes, yes. Channel it into the world for good. The treasure you find, filled with the wealth of love and kindness, true prosperity, is ripe to share with others. She is here for you now. Will you accept her invitation? A great bounty of goodness awaits you. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Fueled web connectivity. Metatron is on like Donkey Kong, is he not? Mm-hmm. Metatron. They've been really busy. I mean, many souls have been hollering out lately because yesterday was a high ritual day for the dark energies, and they do SRA, which is satanic ritual abuse ceremonies. On that, right after the solstice, for some reason I don't know. I don't pretend to know why they would do that. I don't want to know their stuff. I mean, I know enough, but I'm not studying to be a dark work. Maybe they are called works. I'm not trying to study to be a dark warlock. So, who cares why? Just knowing that it exists is enough to. That's why I sat and I watched Harry Potter yesterday along with I just distracted my mind with uplifting movies, hero movies. I looked for Lord of the Rings, but it wasn't available to me. But Harry Potter was fine. I haven't seen all of them in there. I got through two of them and started three. Probably continue that on as the days go on. Back to the book. Jeweled web, connectivity, no separation, the feeding state, the feeding state. Oh, ugh, okay. The feeling state. Approaching any oracle requires you to come in with certain expectations. You're either looking for confirmation of what you already know or attempting to shed light on whatever eludes you on the obvious path you're on. You're asking whether you will reach a desired goal of some kind. You're rarely able to see beyond memory or projection, and so naturally, everyone comes to the oracle with a narrow perception of what's possible. Imagine that the answer to your question is not about landing at a particular destination, meeting a goal, connecting to a special lover, reaching an end game, or experiencing anything specific. Instead, you discover a shimmering web of jewels you didn't know existed. The world is interconnected in a living web of energy. It isn't possible to know how any of it works. But know this: what is in your highest good is sparkling jewel that lights up for you among this web of possibilities. You just need to know how you want to feel and choose that consciously. Take your focus off getting anywhere. Practice feeling and being in a place where your desired experience has already come to pass. 0.0 point of joy is bliss. If you can think about what you want and get into joy while you're thinking about it, and then release it while it's still in the emotion, in the energy of joy or satisfaction, or um, whatever emotion comes with it, with obtaining that particular situation, event, circumstance, then it starts being created in the vortex, and the universe will do everything in its power to bring it to you. And that's a lot of power. It's a lot of power. That's why it's co-creating with the universe. And when we understand that we are powerful, and we're one of the part of the one, I am that I am. I am that I am. Then everything comes into a uncompartmentalized understanding or awareness, and then we can be really active in creating what we would like instead of more of what we've already got. I mean, this whole message so far is just tight. You're asking whether you will reach a desired goal of some kind. You're rarely able to see beyond memory or projection, and so naturally, everyone comes to the oracle with a narrow perception of what's possible. Imagine that the answer to your question is not about landing at a particular destination, meeting a goal, connecting to a special lover, reaching an end game, or experiencing anything specific. Instead, you discover a shimmering web of jewels you didn't know existed. The world is interconnected in a living web of energy. It is impossible to know how any of it works, but know this: what is in your highest good is a sparkling jewel that lights up for you among this web of possibilities. You just need to know how you want to feel and choose that consciously. Take your focus off getting anywhere. Practice feeling and being in a place where your desired experience has already come to pass. Who will be there? Who will you be? Who will you be when this is true for you? Who will you be when this is true for you? Can you be that now? Feel that now? Practice that? The better you know your path within this web of life, the more it will light up for you. It is celebrating you already, Ninja Seals. And you get it with the spirit of gratitude. If we can stay if we can stay always understanding that a spirit of gratitude is where we should always be, because if we're not grateful for the small, why would we get it all? We can't be trusted with it all if we can't be trusted with the small. If we don't understand the blessings of the minuscule nature, we're not going to be fully in appreciation or good stewards of the most abundant. Oh, It's too early to wear a bra. Okay. Anyway. No. Oh, yes. Here it is. I have work. Never mind. I'm not going to talk about my breasts. I was going to, but I won't. All I was going to say is they were working breasts. I nursed both my children. And putting in fake, ooh, that's just like, that's more than I could bear. Spirit of gratitude. Key concepts. The prospering power of prayer, communion with divine, expressing deep gratitude as you move through the world, knowing that your prayers will be answered exactly as they are meant to be. In prayer, we cannot. We, I beg your pardon. That's a pretty nice private jet, if I do say so. Okay. The prospering power of prayer, communion with the divine, expressing deep gratitude as you move through the world, knowing that your prayers will be answered exactly as they are meant to be. Faith is a muscle, discernment is a muscle. You need them both. And then intuition, I mean, that's intuition. Discernment, knowing that if you bust a move, if it says go right, and you know that busting that move is going to be right, even if it feels weird. Or, I mean, at this point, almost any move other than the same old move is the right one. But learning your discernment and how to connect in with our glistening. I'm glistening, okay? With the higher realm, just tapping in with them raises your vibration. And the more you tap in, the easier it is. And the higher vibe you are, and the more options you can see. Okay. In prayer, we connect directly to our higher power. It is a way for us to be. It is a way for us to be in communion with the divine. A reminder that our lives are sacred conversation. I just said, a sacred conversation we are continuously engaged in. I'm so good at this. Prayer lets us know we are not alone. A power greater than us acts on our behalf and is activated through us, suffusing our hearts and minds with a faith that is life-affirming, loving, and compassionate. When we pray, we acknowledge that we are only part of the equation of life, that a spiritual aspect is always in operation. We engage in humility, knowing we are in a co-creative partnership and have so much to be grateful for. Expressing gratitude and asking to be of service is the most powerful, prospering prayer of all. I just want to help. I just want to be helpful. I I do. It's always been my mantra. I want to meet souls where they're at and help them. It's really simple. And I'm so grateful for my life. I mean, let's sucker. Anyway, back to the book. I was gonna cry, but I think I'll save it for later. Oh, this full moon's going to be in Capricorn, and Capricorns, um, and Cancer. I mean, so it's the sign of Cancer. The moon is in Capricorn, And Capricorns, as we know, are very earthy. They're very pentacles. They're very wealth accumulation based energies. And they're not really good at these emotions, and they're ruled by Saturn. There's something about me in Capricorns. I'm not entirely sure what the disconnect is, but there is. I think it's probably, well, anyway, I think it's a long time feud between Sagittarius, the archer, and the goat. We're right next to each other in the sky. Sometimes that goat turns around and rears up on me, and I threaten to shoot it, I guess, because I'm the archer. So sometimes I'm pointing right at it. That being said, it is ruled by Saturn, which is a difficult planet to have at a prominent position in a time space position that the whole world is affected by, and every soul will be affected by this supermoon in Capricorn, in the emotional waters of Cancer, about home, about nurture, about it could be inner childhood wounds that come up. It could be emotions about life circumstances, living circumstances, what you've lost. But don't forget, full moons, it's a manifesting time. And I can't remember. It's been a while since I've done it. Anyway, I think new moons are creation and manifesting what you want into creation. And full moons are releasing that which you're not, that no longer serves you. And so I would go deep on that and maybe write it out as a letter to heaven, a prayer, which is just a spell with a good intention that doesn't disturb anybody else's free will or manipulate other people's circumstances, right? I mean, they're not casting spells. We're asking for cords to be cut, for yourself to be removed, for peace and understanding to come into the situation, for release from anything that is out to harm us, whatever, like that. And write it all out. Always start your burnt prayer offerings, your letters to heaven with salutations to the higher realms, whatever that means for you. Gratefulness, gratitude for what they've already done for you and the changes you're already experiencing. I mean, if you did your manifestation at the new moon, you could, and you've already seen that come to fruition. Thank them for that. Thank them for what's different since the year started or since a year ago. Thank them for that. What you're manifesting, what you're creating is already, already done in the future. Thank them. Think of that. Thank you for already creating that space for me. Always ask for protection over you and those you love. Sign off with sincerity and love. And then tonight, when the moon is full, or whenever the moon is full, I mean, it doesn't matter. It can be at any time. But make yourself a little, go somewhere by yourself, read the prayer, roll it up, and light it on fire. And watch it burn away. It's offering prayer to heaven. And it's just something, anything that's a ritual for you that focuses focuses your intention on what you're doing and who you're trying to whose attention you're trying to get as you know, for the assistance you would like, and ask them to add their energy, their power to it. I mean, prayers are just spells with good intentions, and that's the truth. Spelling it out adds power because you're writing it out. It's focus, it's intention, it's the emotion from your brain, through your heart, to your hand, to the paper. And that's why burning it is effective, because then it's given in smoke to go where it needs to go freely. Power greater than us acts on our behalf and is activated through us, suffusing our hearts and minds with a faith that is life affirming, loving, and compassionate. When we pray, we acknowledge that we are I didn't even see it. When we pray, we acknowledge that we are not only that we are a power greater than us acts on our behalf and is activated through us, suffusing our hearts and minds with a faith that is life affirming, loving, and compassionate. When we pray, we acknowledge that we are not that I did that last time. We acknowledge that we are only part of the equation of life, that a spiritual aspect is always in operation. Yes, yes. We engage in humility, knowing that we are in a co-creative partnership and have so much to be grateful for. Expressing gratitude and asking to be of service is the most powerful, prospering prayer of all. Let's let that sink in. Expressing gratitude and asking to be of service is the most powerful, prospering prayer of all. When you focus your attention on appreciation for even the smallest aspects of your life and what you have already experienced, it's like waving a magic wand. Everything you need comes to you without effort. Obstacles fall away and your purpose becomes ever clearer. Yes, yes. Thank you, gang gang. I needed this too. I mean, even people who are oracles or do have this, it's an open book test for us too, because we're in the tweens. We don't go boom, boom, then we're in the 5D. We don't do it like that. There's a learning curve. It takes practice. They're muscles. You have to work them out. You have to know that the more you work them out, the more powerful they are. And when you have a good core, I was raised on a ranch. My my core doesn't go away. I have strength for the rest of my life. Uh-oh. Okay. I think we're going to have to. I talk too much. I'll do it until. I'll finish this one. When you focus your attention on the appreciation for even the smallest aspects of your life and what you have already experienced, it's like waving a magic wand. Everything you need comes to you without effort. Obstacles fall away and your purpose becomes ever clearer. The kind of prayer that will prosper you and others today is one of deep, abiding gratitude. You become a magnet for miracles when you are grateful and asked to be a channel for divine purpose. Divine abundance, love, and compassion. The power of Source is within you. Now is the time to awaken it. Okay, so my battery's going to take a dive, so I'll come back for the next one just as soon. Oops. Okay. just as soon as I possibly can. Thanks for hanging out with me. I mean it. I love you. Namaste. Have a nice day. And I'll catch you on the next vid, okay? Peace out.